9 practices now in the books for Nebraska. Hi, Sean Callahan with HuskerOnline.com as we caught up with offensive coordinator Dana Holgorsen, running backs coach E.J. Barthel, and a handful of players here on Thursday as, according to Holgorsen, it's been a very physical spring.
Yeah, pretty physical. Did a team run period today. Was the first time that we worked third and short. That looked kind of like it should, just from a physicality standpoint. We've got a lot of 9-on-7 periods in. Starting to get a lot more team in. The first, I think coach has done a good job of the drills were so important early. We had all kinds of indie and special teams drills, one-on-one periods. Just individualized stuff, and as spring goes on, you get more and more team stuff, and so, we got healthy numbers, which is allowing us to get 3 groups. I've never been able to do 3 groups in spring, and we're maintaining being able to do 3 groups. So everybody's getting reps, everybody's getting looked at, everybody's getting evaluated, and we're getting a lot of team reps, which is encouraging.
As for the offensive line, it's been good to get 3 different groups reps here throughout the spring, but as Holgorsen said, they're still missing 4 of their key guys.
Yeah, they got yelled at a lot today. You can tell it's practice number 9, and with it being as physical as it's been, we're starting to get some guys that are feeling it a little bit, and had a little stomach bug going on too, which knocked a couple of guys out, which is, I thought we would pull the plug on the 3rd group, and we didn't. So that good for those guys of having to play more snaps. All those young guys and new guys, just the more snaps that they can log, the better it's going to be. So, just really happy with that group as far as hanging in there and just giving it everything that they got. It doesn't always look good, but we talk a lot about really focusing on your technique, and those guys, it may take years. I mean, the old adage, you put young kids at the O-line position into the program and you just kind of forget about them for a couple of years, because it takes so long for that group, that position to get bigger, understand the technique and just work technique so much over the course of years to where it starts making sense and you start getting good at it. So a lot of those guys still got a couple years to go. The good news is we got 4 guys over there that are all injured that are going to be back in the summer, and so we'll be able to add 4 veteran guys that have logged a lot of snaps. So I'm encouraged with that happening in June.
A lot of talk about the wide receiver room thus far, and some very promising reports early on from a couple of true freshmen, Cortez Mills and Isaiah Mosey.
Both those guys are going to contribute. They will be contributors in the fall. Okay, so they will continue to get better. We'll continue to figure out what they do well. On one-on-one reps, those guys probably have the highest percentage success rate. That very rarely do DBs get their hands on those guys. They have a unique ability to be able to stay away from defenders. They're not very strong, so the contested catch stuff is not probably what you want it at this point. But those guys do a good job with body control and just playing the game. Now their heads are spinning, which slows them down some. But they really do a good job. They're talented young men. They're 2 very talented kids that will play this year.
Running back's another position that Nebraska continues to try to build here this spring, mainly trying to find that number 2 back behind Emmett Johnson, and right now it appears Quinn Ives may have the leg up.
Playing with better pad level, just getting his pads low, running hard, running physical, being physical in pass protection. He's just, I go back to when I was here for the last 3 games. I mean, he wasn't a guy that we could count on at that point, and then the amount of time that he repped in December was really, really, really good for him. Okay. And went into the bowl game and scored a touchdown on the goal line. I think that gave him some confidence, and it's carried over. The good news is it's carried over, in January, February, March. He knew it was his time and took that seriously. And then we're out there for 9 practices. He's been a guy that we can count on for 9 practices.
I think it's the big thing to me is development. I'm kind of like in deja vu mode, from Emmett 2 years ago to now it's Quentin, and working on Mackay, right? So it's like going through the process of what it takes to be a high-level running back. I think there's no doubt when we recruited Quentin that he was an elite athlete, but learning the position is something that he's really shown that progress since last year to this year. He's really shown his comfort out there too. He's getting more comfortable and more confident, and so this is the best I've ever seen him. So I'm really excited about where he stands right now.
It was the first time we've heard from Isaiah Hunter and had a lot of glowing words to say just about quarterback Dylan Raiola.
He's a dog. Like he's that guy. Like on and off the field, he'll be I'll invite him to my wedding. He'll be the first dude I'll invite to my wedding. Like he'll be there and show up. He'll be the only one. If I invited him to my wedding, he'll be the only one probably to show up. Like he's a great dude. That's how great Dylan is. Like he's a great dude on and off the field, and I can trust him. He trusts me, trusts everybody in the room, in the receiver room. And yeah, I'll just say he got a dog mindset and he wants to win. And that's what I can define as Dylan as. When I first hit the portal, he was the first one to text me. And it was just, we just have that good connection. Like like I said, he's a great dude and he knows what he wants in Dana's offense. And I just cannot wait to be out there on game day and just catching touchdowns and celebrating with him and my teammates.
And finally, Janiron Bonner appears to be another receiver that is going to be in that mix for playing time in that top 6 right now. And he spoke on a lot of things, but one of the things they've really worked on since a year ago is improving their perimeter blocking.
That's something they're emphasizing a little bit. At practice we might do a couple blocking periods, and that's something we're moving in the right direction in. We're getting better at it continuously.
What was the issue at times last year, just with some of the blocking, where maybe the timing and things just weren't clicking in some of those quick?
Yeah, I'd probably say just timing. Everybody just got to be on the same page. It probably could be a little technique here and there, but just timing. We're just working on that as every time we go to practice, and we're getting better at it every day.
And on April 16th, we will see the transfer portal open for Nebraska. Not a day guys like Dana Holgorsen are looking forward to.
Portal window opening next week.
Is it? Gee, you trying to put me in a bad mood or what? I was happy just out there coaching ball and not having to worry about all that stuff, I mean, you got bad news? What do you got?
Just based on what you've seen this spring, how active a stretch or how important a stretch do you expect that to be?
I don't have a clue what that's going to look like. I mean, we have so many kids getting so many reps. Nobody's complaining. Everybody's giving effort. Everybody's got opportunities to play. Everybody's got opportunities to show us what they got. I mean, if I was anybody on this football team, there would not be anything that I would be upset about, because you're repping. The way that they're treated here is unreal compared to what I've been used to. I think you could ask Isaiah when he comes up here, like how we're treated here compared to how we're treated, like how others are able to do things for these young men. So, Nebraska's a great place with unreal resources, and these kids, if they choose to, they can benefit from this every day.
Huskers back Saturday for practice number 10. Reporting with the Nebraska football team in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan for HuskerOnline.com.